Stayed up late last night.
It wasn't that late. Oh, here we are. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Sunday brunch edition of our After-Tourney Hangout. My name is Kelly Shaw, and I am the creator and moderator of Ladies Dream Golf, which is a fantasy golf site for the LPGA and soon to be for the Symetra Tour as well. It seems like we were all just together because a lot of us were just together last night.
Yeah.
We had a fun during tourney chat last night, and we had a bunch of people join that, and Beth and Colette were two of those. So let me do some quick introductions for who we have on the panel today. Beth Bethel just popped on. We were starting to worry about her just a little bit, but she has some storms in the area. Beth is a golf blogger and also an editor and writer for Pro Golf Now. So good morning, Beth.
Good morning.
And we have Colette. And Colette, say your last name, please.
What?
What is your last name?
Douce.
Douce. Colette Douce. Coming to us from Canada, Montreal. And Colette is one of our Ladies Dream golfers and one of our most enthusiastic participants. And we're really happy to have her here this morning.
My pleasure.
And we have Alex Cassi, who is a pro golfer on the Symetra Tour, and very happy to have her join us this morning. She has mixed feelings about being here with us this morning because she wished she was out playing in the final round this week, but we are extremely happy to have you here, Alex. So good morning, everyone.
Morning. Morning.
So wow, I mean, come on. That was ridiculous last night. That was one of the most fun tournaments I can remember watching for the longest time. Number one, I was hanging out with all my Ladies Dream golfers, which was so much fun, and we have to do that again. But we had a three-way tie going in. I don't know how many holes was there a three-way tie, like the entire back nine?
Almost all the back nine.
Right, and it was all three players who were in the final group who were tied, which kind of made it even more exciting. And well, I'm sure everyone knows what happened. We did brief Alex right before we came on, but I mean, talk about a lot of fun. Beth, I was there with you when it happened, but tell me what you were thinking.
I was thinking that the impossible was taking place. I mean, first, the final hole in regulation. I mean, that's where it starts at the turn, doesn't it? When Inbee Park has that little tiny, what does she have, a one-shot lead over IK Kim and a two-shot lead over Seung Kim, or is it the other way around? But Inbee Park had a little tiny lead, and I kept thinking right then, I thought, Inbee Park is the only one in this threesome who has the skill and the mental acuity to close this out. She is going to hold on and hold off those two women, and she's got this done. And I thought that for 7 holes. I really did.
You know, it was kind of funny. I'm going to interrupt you for just a minute, Beth, because almost everyone on our chat was pulling for IK Kim. So, like, everyone wanted IK Kim to win, except for Beth.
Well, I didn't think she could. It wasn't that I was actually opposed to anybody. I actually thought it would be Inbee. I mean, that's what I wrote in my post going into the final round. I said, and I believed, Inbee Park has what it takes to close the deal. She is a superb closer, and she is. I mean, there's no doubt about it. And from the turn on, I was sitting there watching you guys in the chat, and everybody was, go IK, yay, yay, yay. And I thought, she can't do it. She doesn't have the middle.
She did miss a couple of shots. I mean, I was sure she would nailed it, but she missed a couple also in the back holes there.
Well, everybody was missing shots. I mean, look at what Inbee did. She shanked one of those fairway shots. Has anybody ever seen Inbee Park shank a shot?
That was the first shank I've ever seen from Inbee.
I mean, I shank shots.
Oh, I
But
shank shots.
all the time. But Ibby Park, she missed those two little short putts. My faith in her began to fade, and I thought, now it's going to happen. And then when Si Young Kim did that 18-foot chip in on the 72nd hole, I thought, holy cow.
But
And
don't forget that was after she hit her ball in the water.
I know it. I know it. I know it. The ball went swimming. And I thought, I said, and we were all sitting there, I had these non-golfing hangers on keeping me company, and I said, she's going to have to hole out if she's going to hold on to par. She can't hole out. The best she can do is a bogey. It isn't going to work. Ibby's going to get it back. And I knew by then IK Kim was gone. It was like did you guys see her when she was doing that practice? You can't see me.
Yeah, with the club underneath her arms.
Yeah. And I thought, she's lost her rhythm. She's lost her focus. Something's gone wrong with IK Kim.
Her body language was negative.
Yes, it really was. And so I kind of ticked her off, even while the rest of you guys were screaming and yelling in the chat about IK was going to go.
Well, we can always dream that.
Well, dream on, baby. What's going to happen? All right, that's all I have to say. I was left breathless. Somebody else, do you want me to narrate the rest of this? And so
well,
then
how about you, Colette? Colette, do you want to pick up from there?
Well, I was just amazed. I mean, those two shots she made, I mean, I wish I could be able to do those shots to start with. But to do it in that position after what she went through at the ANA, I mean, hats off. I mean, everybody said she choked at ANA, but she sure showed that she had quite fire in her. I mean, wow. I was just blown away.
And watching her reaction was just wonderful, because I mean, watching her reaction from the chip to begin with on the regulation hole, she was so excited.
She showed Inby was just emotionless. I mean, but inside, oh my goodness, it must have been something different.
Oh, I know. You know what NB was probably thinking is, thank God I don't have to do the hula.
Well, there was that part. But wait a minute. Go back to the final hole in regulation. When Inby chipped, her third shot was a chip. Remember, from off the green, and it was really tricky, and it had to go down, and it had to break to the left, and it looked for a minute like she was going to get it in, and then it came to a stop right on the edge. It was just a tap in. And in any other situation, Inby would have tapped in and been done with it. But I saw this look on her face, this littlest, tiniest smile. It might have even been a smirk, but I wouldn't. That's such a negative word. I wouldn't want to call it a smirk. But it was this little inward smile that said, "I've got it." Because IK Kim and Si Young Kim were both in positions where they were going to two-putt. I mean, that's just the way it was. And she marked her ball and stepped back. And
she marked her ball. It was like 2 inches away, right?
That's right. That's right.
And she marked it so that she could, have the final shot.
She could take the final tap-in victory shot. And I saw that look on her face, and I knew she thought she had it. She did. She believed it was hers at that point. What a big surprise.
So before we continue with our comments, I forgot to do my little housekeeping thing that I usually do, because I would love to get other people's comments about the tournament. So if you have access to Twitter, you can tweet your questions using hashtag LDG Hangout. Also, if you're watching either from YouTube or Google+, you can post your questions. This week has been kind of, I think it's thrown everybody off because it's a Wednesday through Saturday tournament, And I was really disappointed for a lot of the make the cut players because we had 73 players going into this week, and 16 forgot to do their make the cut picks. So I was disappointed with that, and I know that people were disappointed. 6 people missed the cut, so we only have 51 make the cut players going into next week. So it's getting down. Colette's like, yes, she made her picks.
Less the better for us.
So I have a feeling that our hangout is throwing people off too, because we're having it at an unusual time. Sunday brunch is not our normal hangout time, but I'm having a blast. So I'm glad you guys are here. And Alex, I know you didn't get to watch the tournament, and I'm not sure why. I didn't ask you why not. But you certainly have a beautiful venue that you're sitting in right now. Do you want to tell us what you've been up to?
Yeah, I'm here in Fort Myers Beach, Florida, and I played the Symmetra event that was going on here, and unfortunately I am able to join the hangout. I would have rather been playing a round of golf today, but it is what it is. And yeah, and I lucked out. I found this nice little bungalow that's a couple miles from the beach, so just out here on the patio enjoying the weather. But I am going to go to a really nice golf course this afternoon and put a little work in. And tomorrow I head to Sarasota for my next event, so really looking forward to, preparing again, and hopefully, the hard work shows up next week. So.
How long of a trip is that for you from Fort Myers?
Like an hour and a half.
That's all?
Yeah, not too bad. Yep.
Okay. Well, so what other comments do you guys have about the tournament in general? I mean, starting back from day one, did you guys follow closely the LOTTE Championship and see the girls in Hawaii and all the activities going on there?
Well, I always looked. SP was playing, so I looked, but...
Let's talk about Suzanne. What's going on with Suzanne, Colette?
I have no clue. I mean, I just hope it's nothing major. I mean, the shoulder, the back, shoulder again. She's not that old, so I don't think the body is breaking. What is it?
Does she work out too much?
I think she will need to change a bit of her workout. I think so, but it's in her. I mean, she just can't help it.
She did. I noticed when I was posting the results today, it was kind of an unusual situation. I've never had this before, where she withdrew from the tournament, but she withdrew after the cut. So she did make money this week, and I wasn't sure how to score that. It was a challenge for me this morning, but she did win money. So if anyone had picked her for make the cut, then she did make the cut, and if people picked her for pick 4 as part of their foursome, then she was counted as not a cut.
Oh my God! I made some money.
So you think of it as money, Colette? No.
Oh, it was mine. Shucks.
Well, my favorite player, Dorina, missed the cut. I did not pick her for make the cut, so I was playing a little bit with my head. By the way, I'm just going to mention this. I have 5 make the cut entries, and they're all still in. But I am not eligible for the prize. So even though there are 51 players left, 51 entries left, there's really only 46. And so I'm probably going to take my players out of the competition if, when it looks like it's getting close to someone winning. But it's been fun, and I think my strategy is working. So if anyone wants to know my strategy, I'm available for consulting.
And you're charging how much for that?
You have to sponsor Alex for her birdies, for one of her tournaments for her birdies.
Got the message.
So Alex, what might be kind of cool, since you haven't talked about this on a hangout in a while, is kind of explain what you do for your birdies, well, whatever you call it. Why don't you explain it?
Yeah, that is a good idea. Every week I kind of do a little bit of searching about some animal rescue places in the area. And this week I came up, there was I think it's like dogs and cats. It was called Animal Refuge of Fort Myers. And so what I do during the tournament, I find people that will do $5 per birdie during the tournament, which adds up, because this week I had 4 people that did that, and so I only made 4 birdies in 2 days, but that adds up when you have the more people you have doing it. So next week I'm actually thinking about doing the Clearwater Aquamarine Center, which is where the Dolphin Tale movie came from. They have a couple.
Oh, yeah.
There, so I thought that would be kind of cool. But I just do that all year. It gives me an extra incentive to keep going. Even though like this week, things weren't going my way, but I still was making birdies till I was done, keeping myself going. So if anybody is interested, next week I'll probably be doing the Clearwater Marine Center, and we'll raise some money for all the dolphins there.
I think that's so cool. And I've noticed that people have added extra incentives for you at times. Like I saw someone on Twitter had 2 weeks ago said, okay, I'm going to throw in $20 per eagle for you.
Yeah, that was, and it actually crossed my mind because I was on a par 5, I was like greenside in 2, and I hit a bunker shot really close, and it almost went in. That was the only thing I was thinking about, and that's kind of, I'm not putting extra pressure on myself, but when I make a birdie or something, it slides by, it's just like, oh no, like I could have had all that money for the dogs, but it's just it's been a really good positive reinforcement for me. And I actually had somebody do this week. They gave me an extra $5 for if I didn't bogey any of the odd holes, and I only bogeyed 1 odd hole. And I said, well, why don't we do that for all the holes, odd and even, because that seemed to work. I was actually thinking about that when I was playing. I was like, well, was this an odd hole or is this an even? So we can do that for all 18 holes, so I'll have no bogeys.
But you know what's
Go ahead, Colette.
What's nice about what you're doing, Alex, is that it's the awareness that you're bringing for those animals. I mean, that is something special.
Yeah, and I try to go visit the place that I sponsor if I have time to volunteer. Just 'cause it's important to me. I mean, everyone knows I travel with 2 dogs and huge animal lovers, so it's just a way I can give back.
Very cool. Hey, Beth, Alex was telling us before you joined that you're going to play at the Pro-Am.
I am.
Like 2 weeks from now. Tell us about that.
Oh, that's so exciting, but I'm terrified. I've talked my way into it. I have this sort of local popularity as a blogger, and I write about Stony Point. I've included the Stony Point course in a number of different ways. In some of my stuff for St. Andrews, I did a pre-masters travel blog for St. Andrews, and included Stony Point as a must-play course that's kind of off the beaten track. And last year, I did a tremendous amount of PR writing on my blog for the Symetra Tour event. And so this year, when Jim Medford said, what are you going to write, da-da-da-da-da-da, I said, only if you find a spot for me in the Pro-Am. And I leveraged But so I talked my way in, but now it's a put up or shut up deal. And I'm really not a very good golfer. I'm an enthusiastic golfer, but in terms of technical skill, I do have my challenges.
Well, Alex, you've played in a lot of Pro-Ams. Does it matter? Does it matter how good you are to play in a Pro-Am?
No, it's just all about having a good time and just engaging, with our sponsors and people that support our tour. So, and all the girls are so nice that they'll give you a few pointers. They're not going to hang you dry, so you'll be okay.
They're not going to stand there and point and laugh.
No,
I'm terrified they're going to point and laugh at me.
We've seen everything, so.
If it were me, if I was playing in a Pro-Am, I wouldn't really want to tee off. I'd want to play all the other shots, but I wouldn't want to tee off. Do you have that option of not teeing off?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if that's what you want to do. Yeah, you can do that.
I would like to do that sometime.
But I'll tell you, I played Stony Point this week, and Alex, it's in great shape. It's going to be so much fun to play.
How are the greens this year?
It's looking.
The greens better than last year?
The greens Yeah, much, much, much better. Just I was, I love to putt on good greens, and I'm actually pretty good if the greens are properly tended, as we all are. And I was just really pleased. I think we're going to have a good tournament.
Yeah, because last year, we had that winter kill, or you guys had the winter kill, and
Yes, we did, but now we've got rain.
Okay, good, good. Everyone's really excited about that tournament.
Yeah, I'm excited too. Except
That's
I'm scared.
I can't wait to hear about that experience, Beth. That's going to be a good one. One other thing I forgot is I forgot to say who. Usually when we do these after-tourney hangouts, we don't really know who won on the fantasy golf side. But since I had time to post the results, I was going to mention that only one person picked Se-Young Kim to win, or picked them for their pick four team. So of course that person was the winner, and I'm bringing it up here, and it was I don't even know how to say this. LLLL, 4 L's. Let's Golf Blog. Let's Golf Blog. And so that was the winner. And the winner this week actually gets a 3-novel set from Jude Randazzo, who is an author. I actually met him at the Solheim Cup. He was going around at the Solheim Cup introducing himself to a lot of people and trying to raise awareness of his books. And he actually sent me the first book in the series.
Oh.
And I am in the process of reading it, and it's actually really fun. It's an enjoyable book. I haven't finished it yet. I keep on trying to get to it, but it's a really cool book. So thank you, Jude Randazzo, for providing that prize, which leads me into some exciting news that I have Beth to thank for this. Beth hooked me up with Diane from Ball Couture, and you might have noticed on the Ladies Dream Golf website, did any of you guys notice the colored balls that replaced the white balls?
I saw the colored balls.
Yeah, so Diane gave me those images to replace the white balls, and she has so kindly offered to sponsor up to 20 tournaments for us.
Wow.
And so her first tournament will be next week for the swinging skirts, and so the winner gets a dozen of her balls, of the Golf Couture balls, in miscellaneous colors. They come in 4 different colors. So I assume you'll get 3 of each of the different colors, and they're really bright and colorful. And they're designed for the women's golf club speed. And Beth, I know you've played with some of those balls. What has been your experience?
I field tested those balls because I have this feeling, I have this position that I shouldn't be promoting products that I haven't field tested. And so I had Diane send me a dozen balls, and I sent a note out to my playing partners in the Starfort Ladies Golf Association and said, who wants to help me field test some new balls? And they all did. And so we took these 12 balls, and I think there were 10 of us, and we played with them one day during our regular play day. And I wrote a review of that that's on Pro Golf Now. It's a very, very favorable review, but it's also fun to read. So anybody who wants to get a ball review from a bunch of little old ladies, I mean, now there wasn't anybody under 60 in this group, really. We play in the middle of the week, and we're all old. We're retired. We're grandmothers. But we all have slow, not all of us, but most of us have slow little old lady swings. We're not powerful golfers. People were getting much more distance. I mean, the balls hop off the club face. They really do for old people. Our one really, really, really heavy-duty player who works out and does all kinds of gym stuff and always hits a long drive, hit hers once and gave it to somebody else. It's not a ball that's suited for people like Alex, who really slams them. It's a ball that's suited for people like me, who just have this slow, not very powerful swing, but just love to play golf. And, as I played with mine, I thought, this ball is staying in the fairway. It's flying straighter. You know, it may have just been that I was hitting better. I mean, I didn't. It had one round with me, but if you're interested in them, Google Elizabeth Bethel um, golf ball review, and you'll get it right away. You'll get the link right away, and you can read the review, because I
Very
had
cool.
not just me, but a bunch of other folks. They're good balls.
Cool. Thank you, Beth. So what was that, Colette?
I said that's nice to know. I'm in my 60s too, so maybe that's the kind of ball I need.
Yeah, I'd like
It
to.
might
I'd like to
be.
try them too, actually.
Yeah,
Okay.
well,
So,
you don't
You're too
qualify by
young.
age. No, she's the slow swinger.
Okay.
I'm a slow swinger. Absolutely slow swinger. So, okay, well, it's almost time to wrap up. Next week we have swinging skirts in San Francisco for the LPGA, and as Alex mentioned, it's what is it called, Alex? The Sarah Bay, something Sarah Bay?
The Guardian Retirement Championship.
Okay, Sarah Bay, and Alex will be playing next week. I want to make a quick shout out to Brittany Benvenuto, who was our guest last time we had a hangout. She is playing today, and it looks like I'm looking at the leaderboard right now, and she's T37 at the moment. So
Who's she playing with?
I looked it up yesterday, and I can't remember who she's playing with. But yeah, she's playing with one of the legends, and anyway, best of luck to her today. So, any last thoughts? I'll go around the room. Alex, any last thoughts?
Well, I took Chella Choi this week, and she had a pretty good finish, so I was going to mention her earlier, because she's kind of had a slow start for her. You know, she missed that first cut, which she never misses cuts. So I thought that would be a nice springboard for her into the remainder of the season.
Yeah, she kind of seemed like in the last round she kind of fell apart a little bit. She was missing some short putts, but there was a lot of people in our chat last night pulling for her too.
Was it super windy? I mean, I didn't see much.
Yes, it was. It was very windy.
The last round, because the scoring was really high.
Yeah, the last round was the windiest of all 4 days.
Okay.
How about you, Colette?
Well, I just want to mention So Young Lee, the amateur from Korea. I think she did a pretty fair job. So I think she finished -1. So pretty good tournament for the young lady. So
Absolutely.
I mean, like Christina said on Twitter this morning, South Korea will be pretty hard to beat in the Olympics.
Yeah, very good point. We were discussing the Solheim Cup last night just a little bit, and my thought was it's a good thing we're playing against Europe and not South Korea in the Solheim Cup. Beth, what thought do you want to leave us with?
Oh, hats off to Christy Kerr for the high American finish.
Yeah.
She kept the Americans on the front page of the board.
Yep, she did. So, well, thanks so much for the three of you joining me this morning for our brunch. And it's been a lot of fun. And good luck to you, Alex, next week. As always, we are going to be cheering you on.
Yeah.
And that's it. So we'll talk to everyone later.
Bye.
Thanks, Kelly.
Bye.